My name is Lily. I'm 29 years old, and this story, well, this is something I've never really said out loud, but maybe it's time. I grew up in a small town just outside of Portland, Oregon. Not too quiet, not too busy, trees everywhere, the smell of wet leaves in the fall, coffee shops with soft jazz playing, and people who said hello even if they didn't know you. I wasn't someone special, just a normal girl who worked at a small bookstore downtown. I loved books, especially romance novels. I believed in love, big love, the kind that made you feel seen, the kind that made ordinary life feel beautiful. I met Josh on a rainy Tuesday. That day, I was late to work because I forgot my umbrella and had to run through the rain. My hair was a mess, my sweater was soaked, and my shoes made that weird squishy sound. I felt gross. And then he walked in. He had this calm smile, like he wasn't in a rush for anything. Brown eyes, kind eyes, like they'd seen pain, but still believed in hope. He asked for a book, The Little Prince, and joked that he was reading it to feel young again. I laughed, even though I didn't know why. That was the first time. The second time, he brought me coffee. He said, "You looked cold last time. Figured I'd warm your day a bit." I remember my hands were shaking as I took it from him. Not because of the cold, but because something inside me moved. We started talking more after that. Sometimes 5 minutes, sometimes an hour. He'd sit on the couch near the window with a book, and I'd sneak glances from behind the counter. His presence made the shop feel warmer, like maybe this was what I'd been waiting for. One day, he waited outside until my shift ended. I asked, "What are you doing?" He said, "Waiting for you." We walked through the park. The sun was setting, and the sky looked like someone had painted it with soft pink and orange brushes. I told him about my fear of being forgotten. He told me about losing his dad when he was 10. We didn't kiss that night. But something deeper happened. A kind of silence that said, "I see you." To be honest, I didn't want to fall so fast. I tried to stop myself. But how do you stop something that feels right? We became a thing, not all at once, but slowly, sweetly. Sunday mornings were my favorite. I'd wake up to the smell of pancakes. He made them better than anyone, and we'd dance in the kitchen while waiting for coffee. No music, just our laughter and the sound of the pan sizzling. But love isn't always soft. There were signs. Small ones. Sometimes he'd go quiet. I'd ask, "Is something wrong?" And he'd say, "No, just tired." But the air around him would change. Once he disappeared for 3 days. No call, no text. I waited. I cried. And when he came back, he said, "I just needed space." I nodded because I was scared. Scared if I asked too much, he'd leave. Maybe it's just me. But when you love someone deeply, you sometimes forget yourself. You make excuses. You shrink. I started doing that, shrinking. My friends noticed. Emily, my best friend since college, said, "Lily, I don't see you anymore. You used to laugh louder." I said I was just tired. I lied. I wasn't tired. I was breaking. But love is strange. You hold on, hoping they'll come back to the person they were. You replay the good days like old songs, hoping they'll sing again. Josh and I moved in together after a year. At first, it was okay. We had our routines. Friday night movies, cooking dinner together, him reading while I painted. I thought, this is life. Real life. Not perfect, but ours. But then it got harder. He stopped asking me how my day was. He stopped holding my hand when we crossed the street. He stopped saying goodnight. One night, I found his phone open on the kitchen counter. I wasn't trying to snoop, I swear. but a message popped up. It said, "Last night was amazing. I can't stop thinking about you." My hands froze. My heart felt like it stopped. I couldn't breathe. I stared at it for a full minute, hoping I was dreaming. When he walked in, I didn't even say anything. I just showed him the phone. He stared at me. Not guilty, not even angry, just empty. And then he said, "It didn't mean anything." Do you know how much those words hurt? It didn't mean anything. Like I was nothing, like we were nothing. I didn't scream, I didn't throw anything, I just went silent. That night, I packed a small bag and left. I didn't even know where I was going. I walked for hours, ended up at Emily's door at 2 a.m. She opened the door and hugged me before I said a word. I cried that whole night. The kind of cry where your body shakes and your throat hurts and it feels like your soul is breaking. It's strange how love can lift you so high and then drop you from the clouds with no warning. The days after that were blurry. I called in sick to work. I stopped eating. I'd stare at the ceiling and ask myself, was it my fault? Did I not love enough? Was I too much or not enough? There's no pain like doubting your own worth. Emily made me go out after a week. She said, "You can't heal locked inside." We went to a small cafe. I sat there watching people laugh and talk, and I felt like I didn't belong, like the world had moved on and left me behind. But then something happened. The waitress, a girl with bright red hair and freckles, dropped my tea by accident. It spilled everywhere. She looked at me, panicked, and said, "Oh my God, I'm so sorry. It's been a rough morning." And I smiled. For the first time in days, I smiled. Because I realized everyone is going through something. We're all hurting in some way. We're all trying. That moment didn't fix everything, but it reminded me I was still here, still breathing, still capable of feeling. I went home that day and picked up a notebook. I started writing. Not perfect sentences, not beautiful poetry, just my truth. This is Lily, and today I feel broken. But I kept writing every day. Sometimes 2 lines, sometimes 10 pages. And slowly, those words became my way of healing. Learning English had always been a hobby. I loved the language. But now, it became my way of expressing pain. I'd write in English, simple sentences, even when my grammar was off. Like, "I feel sad. I miss him. But I want to be strong." It helped. It really helped. Because learning something, even something small, gave me a little light. Something I could control. Something that was mine. It's strange, isn't it? How the heart can still beat even after it breaks. The days after I left Josh, they felt like walking through fog. I'd wake up, sit on my bed, and just stare at the wall for minutes, sometimes hours. I'd forget to eat. I'd forget what day it was. Sometimes I'd hold my phone and almost text him, but I didn't. I never did, because deep down, I knew. If I opened that door again, I'd lose myself completely. And honestly, I was already halfway gone. Emily, she was a light. She never pushed too hard, but she didn't leave me alone either. She'd say things like, "Just come sit with me while I work," or "Let's walk for 5 minutes, no pressure." One morning, she brought home a small chalkboard. She wrote one word on it: hope. I looked at it and felt this tightness in my chest. That word, that simple 4-letter word, it felt so far away. But I wanted to believe in it. So I started writing one English word every day. Just one. Day 1, lonely. Day 2, rain. Day 3, heart. Day 4, break. Day 5, heal. I wasn't just learning vocabulary, I was learning myself again. I bought a simple English grammar book. I read stories online, easy ones, the kind with short sentences and pictures. I started writing little paragraphs about my day. Like this one. Today I feel okay. Not good, but not bad. I walked in the sun. The sky was blue. I saw a dog. He smiled at me. I think I smiled back. It sounds silly now, maybe, but back then, writing that made me cry because it meant I was still alive inside. I started going to English conversation meetups, just small groups. People like me, learning, trying, nervous. There was one guy named Carlos, and he was from Brazil. He always made everyone laugh. And then there was Anya from Poland. She was soft-spoken but kind. Talking in English wasn't easy. I made mistakes. I forgot words. Sometimes I'd freeze and feel stupid. But no one laughed. No one judged. And for the first time in a long time, I felt safe. I remember one night walking back home from the meetup. It was cold, and I wrapped my scarf tight around my neck. I looked up at the sky. No stars, just gray clouds. But I whispered to myself, "I'm proud of you, Lily." I stopped. I actually said it out loud. "I'm proud of you." And I cried. Not the painful kind, but the healing kind. The kind that feels like your soul is washing off months of sadness. One afternoon, I went back to the bookstore. My old job. It felt weird stepping inside again. Familiar, but also distant. The bell above the door rang, and the smell of paper and old coffee hit me. I took a deep breath. The manager, Mr. Peters, saw me and smiled. "Lily, it's been a while?" I nodded. "Yeah, I just wanted to say hi." He offered me tea. Sat with me near the back table. We didn't talk about Josh, just books, life, how things change. Before I left, he said, "The door's always open if you want to come back." I smiled. Maybe, someday, but not yet. Healing, it's not a straight line. It's not okay, now I'm better. No. Some days, I'd feel strong. I'd cook myself dinner. I'd write 3 pages in my journal. I'd even put on lipstick and take a walk with music in my ears. And then, the next day, I'd see a couple holding hands and my chest would ache. I'd remember how Josh used to brush my hair back gently when I cried. And I'd cry again. And that's okay. That's healing. It's falling, standing, falling again, and still trying. 3 months passed. Then 4. Then 6. One night, I got a message. It was from Josh. "Hey, just wanted to see how you are. I miss you." I stared at it. My heart didn't jump. My hands didn't shake. I just breathed. I didn't reply because I didn't need to. I wrote in my notebook instead, "I don't miss who I was with you. I miss who I thought you were. But now, I love who I'm becoming without you." I still kept learning English every day. Not because I had to, but because it became a part of me. My healing journey, my growth. Words saved me. Simple words: I am strong. I am enough. I am learning. I am healing. 1 year later, I moved into a small studio apartment near the lake. It's nothing fancy, a tiny kitchen, 1 window, and a creaky bed. But it's mine. I got a new job, teaching English to beginner learners online. Yes, me teaching. Funny, right? The girl who once cried over English verbs, now helping others learn them. And sometimes when I share my story with my students, they cry too. They say things like, "Miss Lily, thank you for understanding me." Or, "You made me believe I can do it." That means more than anything, because I know what it's like to feel broken, to feel lost, to feel like you'll never smile again. But here's the truth. You will. It takes time. It takes tears. It takes silence and messy thoughts and long nights. But you will smile again. And one day you'll look back, not with pain, but with peace. So here's my advice to you. if you're still reading this. Whatever you're going through, heartbreak, pain, loneliness, please don't give up on yourself. Cry if you need to. Rest if you must. But don't stop. Even if all you can do today is learn one new word, that's enough. That's brave. And if you feel like no one understands you, you're wrong. Because I do. I've been there. I'm still healing, and maybe I always will be. But now, I'm walking forward. One step, one word, one soft, kind day at a time. You're not alone. Keep learning, keep loving, and most importantly, keep going.